Hello again, my name's Dion Ward. I'm an expat New Zealander living in Japan, and I'm going to talk a little bit about consciousness today. So consciousness, what is it? Where is it? Where does it start? Where does it finish? And what is my relationship to it? So another little reminder that any of the questions that I'm going to ask, I'm not going to give any answers. I'm just going to ask questions, and they are pointers. They are places to put your attention and to look directly at reality, at what is actually happening. Not to think about, not to mull over the idea of it and come to conclusions, but to radically reassess your entire worldview based on what you can actually perceive, and not what you've heard or what you can imagine or what you can deduce or rationalize. So first and foremost, a little reminder about what we've about what we've already covered in other videos. Relationship to the mind. Am I the mind? Am I thoughts? Are they mine? They come and they go. When they're gone, am I still here? So when there are no thoughts, I'm still here. The same for feelings, sensations, the whole gamut of sensory experience. It's all in a state of flux. It all comes and goes. Where does it come and go from and go to? You can have a look at that. Where do thoughts come from? Where do feelings come from? Do I make them? Do I create them? If so, how? If I really do create them, there must be a process, there must be some method. So look for that. There is no thought, and then there's a thought, so the thought must come from somewhere. So sit very quietly and look closely for that. And then consciousness. All the comings and goings, all the experiences, but throughout it all, there is the perceiving of that, the consciousness of these things happening, the awareness of them. And you can say, that's a constant, maybe the only constant throughout your entire life, is the act of perceiving. The consciousness of these things happening, the awareness of these things happening, coming and going and changing over time. But I'm always here as the one who witnesses them, who recognizes the coming and going. So perhaps I'm consciousness. But what is it and where is it? As I stand here experiencing this physical sensation, his feelings, his thoughts coming and going, is the environment around me, everything in a state of flux constantly, seasons and weather and wind and rain and sun and all coming and going. As I stand here, it feels as if This consciousness radiates from this point somewhere here. I am the one who sees, I witness. So where is that point? It feels like consciousness radiates out from here. So a powerful exercise is turn your attention backwards upon itself. Turn consciousness back on consciousness to find the root of consciousness, to see if you can find the consciousness. What is it and where is it? You might find when you start looking, your eyes will be jumping around here and there because they're somehow associated with looking with, well, visual looking. Now that's okay. Eventually that whole process, that will sort of peter out and you'll be left just sort of blankly staring forward as all of your attention's on the inside, looking for the root of itself. Can you find it? Can you find the source? Can you find the root? Can you find the place from which it emanates, if it does at all? Remember again, perception. If you have perception, if you have the ability to perceive, if you're conscious and aware, and you're sincere, and you've got humility to know that you don't know anything at all, if realization is what you want, and a sincerity to say, I just want the truth, and I place no expectation upon that. It can be whatever it is. And through your own perception, choose, recognize this thing that I have stories about and I think I know about the world. It either exists or it doesn't. It's either real or it's not. If it exists, I should be able to perceive it. It's not conjecture. It's not an idea. It's a real thing that actually exists. There has to be some evidence of it. And if I can't find any evidence of it, then at least for the time being, until proven otherwise, it's not a real thing. It's just a story or an idea, a concept, an abstraction, rationalization. Oh, what a lovely day. And so you've looked within. Now spend a lot of time doing this stuff. You've got to be absolutely thorough. You want to know for a fact. You don't want to just have a little glance and say, oh, yep, I'll go along with whatever I've read or whatever I've heard. This is all here for you to see directly via your own ability. It's there for you to know directly. Now look out. What is within this consciousness? Well, I'm conscious of physical sensation. I'm conscious of sound of me speaking. Conscious of thoughts coming and going. Conscious of trees and birds chirping and the sky. Conscious of mountains and weather and seasons and water and movement and light and dark and all these things. And all these things are coming and going. Some of these things are far, far away, and some of these things are so close as to be considered obviously and utterly personal. But are they? A sense of distance. Does that decide what is you and what is not you? The closer it feels, the more it must be me. What about if I look at the moon? Is the moon me? Why is the moon not me? I can sense it. I can see it. I can even, some would say, now I would say, I can feel the effect of the moon. What about the sun? We can see it and we can certainly feel it. What about stars? So many billions or tens of billions of light years away or more, galaxies. If they weren't within my consciousness, I wouldn't be able to perceive them. So consciousness starts looking massive. And perhaps for a human is only bound, apparently bound, by the ability of the senses to recognize them. Is that right though? Is that true? Is it more than that? Can you find the border to consciousness? Can you find the place where it stops? Everything in existence, everything that can be perceived is within consciousness, or it would not be able to be perceived. And perhaps there's an ability to perceive beyond the senses. But that's speculation. We don't need to speculate. We only need to become accustomed with what we can actually perceive. These are some core, this is the core attitude. This is the approach that you take when you're approaching, when you're moving towards recognizing truth. Just breaking it all down, breaking down all of the, to begin with at least the primary experiences of thought and feeling and seeing and hearing and tasting, and where do these things come from? What's my relationship to them? Do they arise by themselves? Do I create them? How's all this actually working? And then the thing in which all of these things take place, or via consciousness, the ability to perceive. And consciousness seems to be the only constant. It's the only thing that hasn't changed. It's the only thread that runs through all experience, is consciousness. So am I consciousness? Let me see if I can find the place. I, the individual, am consciousness. This is consciousness. Where? And where does it finish? Can't find the end of it? I can find the end of it. I can find the boundaries. I can't find the boundaries. Are there limits or no limits? Is it impossible to know? What can you perceive? How far can you look? How deep can you look? How quiet can you be? How honest can you be with what you find? And how brave can you be in terms of what you're willing to approach and what you're willing to challenge in terms of the story of me and mine? That's all for now. I think that's it. Thank you very much for listening. I appreciate it. And I hope you have a great day. Any questions or comments, pop them in the box below, or have a look on my website, which I'll put a link below. Thanks very much. Have a great day. See ya.